Hello and welcome to another one of my flight reviews. Today I'm flying on an American Airlines A321 from here in Ontario, California to Dallas-Fort Worth and then transferring to another American Airlines A321 from there to Orlando. Now I'm cold out here so I'm gonna head inside. Let's go. Ontario Airport is a sort of obscure airport you likely haven't heard of if you aren't familiar with Southern California. It's located about 30 miles away from downtown Los Angeles and 45 miles away from LAX, meaning if you're flying into or out of Los Angeles and don't want to use the very crowded LAX, Ontario is a good alternative. Ontario Airport is not very big. This is almost everything to the right of security. This is almost everything to the left of security. There's a tiny hallway leading to a few more gates at either end, and that's it. Surprisingly, there are two terminals here, Terminal 2 and Terminal 4. Terminals 1 and 3 do not exist. Don't ask, I didn't name them. Terminal 2 is nearly identical to Terminal 4 in layout and design, the only real differences being the shops and restaurants inside of them, so no matter which terminal you use, the experience will be practically the same.
TSA regulations require that baggage must be supervised at all times. Any unattended baggage will be subject to confiscation.
Hello everyone, thank you for your attention. It's time to get you ready for takeoff. We know.
This seat, different than the one from my second flight, had a seatback TV, a USB port and a headphone jack, a tray table, quite obviously, and good enough legroom for me. I also appreciate how there was a universal outlet on each seat as opposed to between them. Shortly into the flight, they gave out a standard snack service with my surprisingly full-size can of soda as opposed to the miniature ones airlines often serve. They also gave some cookies, and a cup of ice for my soda, all of which is pretty standard for a flight of this length. The responsive touchscreen TV had a moderate amount the dated TV screen had a moderate amount of content, certainly enough where you won't get bored on even a 5-hour flight. Of course, there are also some TV shows, music, games, the typical stuff for a system like this. Of course, no entertainment system is complete without the map. The map. The map, there we go. Okay, still loading? Let me speed it up. One genuinely cool thing about this flight tracker is it shows many views, including a mock-up of the airplane's side view. Pretty accurate minus the fact that our wing isn't transparent. The seat itself was very plush and came with an adjustable headrest. The seat came with a very loose headrest. Overall, the experience is what I expected. A standard food service, entertainment selection, everything. However, the service was much better than I thought it would be due to the airline's less than stellar reputation. But the seat felt like it hadn't been maintained since it was introduced. The TV was unresponsive and slow, and the headrest was just broken. The recline was fine, but I felt that it jutted into the seat behind and made it especially hard to use the tray table, way more than on other seats I've flown. But these seats are being phased out, and the next flight from here in Dallas to Orlando is on an A321 with the new cabin. But even the new cabin is under controversy as it squeezed more seats into the cabin and got rid of the seatback TVs and replaced it with streaming to your phone. So keep watching to see what cabin I had the better experience with.
Seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off. And keep the aisles clear of all carry-on items. Take a moment to check your seat back pocket for any personal items, like tablets and cell phones. When you open the
Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, at least in Terminal C, is, to say the least, not my favorite in design. To say the most, it was designed like a bathroom, with tiles everywhere and practically no windows besides right by the gate. It was also very crowded, enough where I had to blur people's faces since too many people were in way too clear view of the camera. At least I could get on the tram to the better Terminal A.
Please do not block the doors. Allow people to exit. Please hold on. This train is departing. The next service needs an A321.
Wheelchairs, CC-18 and 17.
After takeoff, they handed out a drink and cookies. In other words, I'm on a plane. The seat came with a phone hole. Maybe it's just hard for me to grab onto the latch and open it at the same time. The seat came with a phone hole. Why didn't that one work? Phone hole. The seat came with a phone hole. With a deceiving latch that you have to lift really high before it unlocks anything. The seat also came equipped with a USB port, a sturdy tray table, and not much legroom, certainly less than on the first flight of the day. It also came with a universal power outlet by each seat. That's what the green light is. On top of that, the headrest actually worked. Most things about this flight were comparable to the first flight. The service, the entertainment selection, everything but the cabin. The new cabin felt very fresh and, well, that's about all the positives I have. Specifically, the headrest wasn't broken, the entertainment system was responsive, however the entertainment system was my phone, and the seat recline wasn't as annoying for the person behind, although there simply wasn't as much recline. As for the negatives, there was no entertainment system at all, the legroom was much smaller than on my first flight, and the seat wasn't nearly as well padded. But the old cabin did feel extremely aged, definitely more than came across on camera. If I had to pick a seat, I would actually say the new cabin, on a flight less than 3 hours. But I don't think it would be nice to be in the new cabin seat for longer, say a transcontinental flight from Los Angeles to New York, which is roughly 5.5 hours. For a flight like that, I would have to recommend the old cabin, as the extra legroom in the entertainment screen is way more valuable than on a 2.5-hour flight like this one. But I think that the fact that I even have to choose which seat's negatives outweigh the other ones proves that if I had a choice of any airline in America to fly domestic on, American wouldn't be my very first choice.
Welcome to Orlando International Airport. The local time is 9:57 p.m. There's been a 1-hour time zone change. Please remain seated with your...
A321-200